Dear doctor, at the outset I take this opportunity to thank you for being the cause in the noble act of saving thousands of lives. I have been practicing and offering my services in Gujarat since 2012. I have got tremendous support from you, and together we have touched upon thousands of lives. Today I have thought of sharing some data and our protocol on a very interesting territory, that is stroke and extracranial carotid artery diseases. Having trained in Sri Chitra Institute, Trivandrum, carotid artery diseases and its treatment was always my forte, and I am glad in last 8 years I have been successful in offering the world-class results when it comes to carotid artery diseases. Now, do you know how many people are affected by stroke in India annually? It is 2 to 2.5 million. Yes, that is approximately 25 lakhs of the patients are diagnosed with stroke in India annually. As we know, in stroke, face, arm and speech are affected, and the mnemonic fast says that time is the only important thing, because the faster the action, the better the outcomes. The word TIA is used as a transient ischemic attack for any deficit which recovers within 24 hours. Minor stroke is used for stroke ranging between 1 to 7 days, and anything more than 7 days, any deficit lasting more than 1 week is called major stroke. Now, almost 80 to 90% of the stroke are due to intracranial lesions, and our neuro colleagues, neurointerventionists, manage these patients, while 10 to 20% are due to the extracranial carotid artery segment, and after initial evaluation they are referred to us for doing either carotid artery stenting or carotid endarterectomy. Carotid artery bifurcation is the area where atherosclerotic plaque develops and prolongs towards the internal carotid artery, and in majority of the patients, platelet or atheromatous clump traversing from here as atheroemboli going into the brain causes stroke. There are various criteria and guidelines to deal with these diseases. In symptomatic patient, anything more than 50% stenosis is the indication for treatment, while in asymptomatic patients, the indication is kept for stenosis more than 80, even 85%. Now, if we compare carotid artery stenting and endarterectomy, myself being a vascular surgeon, I do both the procedures, but I prefer carotid endarterectomy because in favorable anatomy and good risk patient, it gives excellent results. In my practice, I reserve stenting for those patients whose neck is irradiated, opposite side is 100% occluded, bifurcation is high up behind the mandible, or patient's cardiac risk is prohibitive. So once we have decided for surgery, clopidogrel is discontinued for 4 days and aspirin is continued perioperatively. Patient is kept nil by mouth. On the day of surgery, patient is intubated. In my practice, I do almost all the procedures under general anesthesia. There are various strategies and methods of doing CEA, but I prefer GA. I prefer to use shunt in almost all patients during the clamp time, and I prefer to close the arteriotomy with vein patch because these three have given best results in my practice. So showing you some of the intraoperative pics also. In image 1, you can see the carotid artery bifurcation is exposed by a vertical incision in the neck. Common carotid internal and external are looped using a silastic tape. Then we hyperinize the patient, clamp the artery. In most of the cases, I put shunt after doing endarterectomy. But when the opposite side is 100% occluded or severely stenosed, I put shunt immediately after clamping and then do endarterectomy. Once the plaque is completely removed and shunt is in place, it is always good to remove all the debris and do complete endarterectomy. Even the distal flap is stacked by Prolene when it is present. So once it is done, we wash the artery thoroughly with saline, and then we close the arteriotomy using a great saphenous vein which is harvested from near the ankle area. So once the arteriotomy is closed, we perfuse the brain, and then I usually close it, and before closing we apply fibrin thrombin glue to avoid hematoma or bleeding. In post-operative period, managing the BP within normal limit is the only important factor. The patient is kept in ICU for post-op day, same day. On day 1, patient is shifted to the ward, and on day 2, patient is ready for discharge. I am glad to inform you that in our series of 50 cases done in last 8 years, we have not found a single stroke. So we are very glad for our results. Only 2 patients have minor tongue deviation and that recovered within 1 week. So once again, dear doctor, I thank you for your support, and I expect in future also we'll get good support from you whenever it comes to the carotid artery territory and stroke prevention. Thank you.